The fragile narcissist. Most narcissistic types are very fragile people. They can put on that charismatic charm and they have that air of arrogance with them. And that is usually to pull everybody else down, because deep down they're very insecure. They're the ones who feel very inadequate. Now, we can all have insecurities. We can all have things where we feel inadequate. However, we usually try to raise people up. You'll often notice with the narcissistic types, they go along trying to tear everybody else down so that they can reign superior. When it comes to a fragile narcissist, they crave that excessive need for admiration and attention and validation, that they are in the right. They have lots of deeply hidden underlying insecurities that they might not be aware of within themselves. And these insecurities are easily triggered by abandonment, by criticism, by rejection. And you'll often find that when you've spent a prolonged period of time around a narcissist, you can be triggered by abandonment, criticism, and rejection as you pick up the narcissist fleas from their mistreatment of you. When they're there 1 minute and disappear the next, it heightens those natural human instincts of fear of abandonment and rejection. When they constantly criticize you to the point where you're not sure what is right and what is wrong, when people criticize you, you begin to question and doubt yourself. Now, some people might act out, other people tend to go into themselves. With a narcissistic person, they go all out to criticize others, to abandon others, to reject others first. They have an inability to handle any form of criticism, be it positive feedback or negative criticism. They are highly sensitive people, although they don't want to admit this to themselves. Instead, they will be some of the most insensitive people you could ever meet, criticize you and accuse you of being the one who is too sensitive, so that they can figure in their own mind that you're the one with the problem, not them, or that you're no better than them because you're also a sensitive person. They react very defensively to criticism. They often go all out to blame and shame those who dare to criticize them. They might even use the passive-aggressive form of the silent treatment, so they don't have to face any form of communication. They're more interested in manipulation. They require that constant need of validation. They crave the attention from those around them. They seek approval. You'll often notice two people can have a difference of opinion, and you can have a debate, and you can you might get in a moment when you're like, why can't you see my point of view? And then they're like, well, I can, I just don't agree. And you can communicate this with each other. Whereas with a narcissist, they'll come to you to criticize somebody else, and when you don't agree with them, they'll get offended that you don't agree with their point of view. They lack the empathy to care about you. However, they have that very self-serving empathy to care about themselves. It's all about them and getting their needs met. So when it comes to dealing with a fragile narcissist, they expect you to be there for them. They expect you to drop everything to be there for them. Even if you've got minors that you need to care for, even if you've got a hospital appointment, even if you've got to get to work to pay the bills, they expect you to drop everything to serve them. And when you don't take that day off work, they get offended. When you choose your child's hospital trip over them, they get offended. However, when you need them because you've injured yourself to drive you to the hospital, they're not interested. That's a you problem, not a their problem, because they're very self-centered. They're very fragile people, which is why they react so negatively to criticism, abandonment, and rejection, which is why they seek to either love bomb people back in or destroy those who have dared to stand up to them. They're very manipulative with that passive aggressive behavior, and they will use emotional blackmail in order to guilt trip you into living life on their terms. When they are rejected, they often act out in denial, or they'll claim that they were the one that rejected you. They'll blame you, they'll project out onto you, they'll gaslight you, they'll force silence on you, they'll play the victim to cover their own insecurities. What you have to remember is not everyone who displays these kinds of behaviours is a fragile narcissist. Some people can actually be the victim of a fragile narcissist. Some people who break down easily in disagreements can be a victim of a fragile narcissist who's just had their self-worth and their self-esteem stripped away from them, that they don't want to offend you, but they no longer know whether they're coming or going. When it comes to a genuine person, a genuine victim, they're usually looking for answers, searching for answers, searching for understanding, searching to get their lives back on track, taking responsibility for things that they're not responsible for. When you're dealing with a fragile narcissist, nothing's ever their fault. It's always somebody else's fault. It's always somebody else's doing. A genuine victim often comes along and says, if I hadn't have done that, I know the part I played. A narcissist didn't play no part in any wrongdoing. That was always somebody else's fault, never the narcissist's fault. When it comes to dealing with narcissistic people, they're going to have a very negative impact on your life, on your friends, on your family, on your health, on your wealth, on your hobbies, on your psychological health, and on your physical health, which is why the best approach is always no contact. If you can't go no contact, it needs to be limited contact and grey rock. Safely assert your boundaries and find the right support for you to recover from everything you've been through. When they do not see themselves as a problem, they're not going to change. They're just going to change their manipulation in order to exploit you and get their needs met by you. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have a couple of books out on Amazon, which will be in the video description, and I'll link those into the comments also. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.